A good one from the Garden features Julius Randle of the New York Knicks and Paul George of the Los Angeles Clippers, both making their way to All-Star Game 2023. They got some teammates, though, that believe they were snubbed. More on them in a second. But first off, you got George for three, and then on the other end, you got one of the snubs, maybe. Jalen Brunson had himself a game. Brunson knocks in a three. Reggie Jackson in transition finds maybe, arguably, a Western Conference snub. I believe so in Kawhi Leonard, who throws it down. And then back to the all-star of the Clippers, Ivica Zubac with a beautiful dime to Paul George inside, plus the foul. How about Randle with the nasty pull-up jumper, 2 of his 28 points, 11 boards. Speaking of nasty pull-up jumpers, Kawhi looking very MJ-like right there. Third quarter, it's the Clippers starting to take off on the Knicks. PG 1-3, 3 of his 30 points. On the other end, it's Randle with the deuce of his own. Fourth quarter we go, Clippers up 9, make it 11. Leonard led the Clippers in scoring with 35. And then Norman Powell rising up and powering it down on Randle. That's a poster in your home building. That's how you feeling? Powell, no respect for the Knicks. Brunson's got some respect for his team, though. He leads a charge with plays for himself and others. Brunson to Hartenstein, and then Brunson keeping it himself with 80 seconds to go, got the Knicks down just 2. How about Brunson finding Quentin Grimes for 3? Brunson had 7 assists, 5 boards, and he also had 41 points. There's 2 of them. Those put the Knicks up by 3. Last chance for the Clippers. It's George, no. Big time hustle from Zubac and Kawhi to track down a loose ball. Georgia get it over to Batum, who knocks in the game-tying three-pointer to force overtime. Batum, a no-doubter. We're tied at 115 as free basketball is upon thee. In the extra period, it's all Clippers. Marcus Morris, the mid-range, and then Norman Powell, just forgetting that he had teammates. How about Powell taking on the Knicks by himself? Norman Powell, arguably the leader in the clubhouse for 6th Man of the Year, helps put the Clippers up by 6, and they win by 6, 134-128. One of the things you really never know around this time of the year with the All-Star game so close is if somebody who's already made the All-Star game will get injured and a spot will open up. When these two teams played that game, the Clippers and the Knicks, Kawhi Leonard didn't know Steph Curry would go down with injury. Now, I'm not saying Kawhi will get the spot that Steph's going to probably miss now because Steph's going to be out a couple weeks with that injury. The NBA is probably going to replace him in the All-Star game. He'll be unable to play. It's Adam Silver's decision. It'll likely come down to either Kawhi, De'Aaron Fox, Anthony Davis, maybe even. Those are some of the guys out west, but you just never know. And the same goes for Jalen Brunson, who was playing his behind off in that game. Maybe, just maybe. We're not hoping for anybody to go down with injury, but there is a chance somebody in the next couple of days goes down with an injury, and right there at the end, there's a spot that opens up for a guy like Brunson, who I do believe Jalen Brunson has a better case to make the All-Star game over a guy like Zach LaVine of the Chicago Bulls, or even over a guy like Jimmy Butler. To me, I believe Jalen Brunson has a better case. One of the things that works in the Knicks' favor is a game like this. Just like the Lakers, the Knicks don't blow a lot of teams out. They always find ways to blow big leads late in games. So they're in a lot of tight games. They're a big market. They play at the Garden for their home games, so it's always fun. You get the A games out of other teams. They bring their A games because it's still New York, right? One of the things that helps, I believe, a Jalen Brunson in a scenario like this is the fact that his team is always in these high-profile, close games, no matter who they're playing. So I don't know if Brunson will get a call because he still needs somebody to go down with injury. But Kawhi very well might get the call from the league. So these two guys could have very well been competing for an all-star spot.